This is King Noble, Black Supremacy, and with this particular video, I want to talk about the internal matrix versus the external matrix part 2. I got to go further in on this subject because I feel like it'll help a lot of people understand the matrix. What separates the internal matrix from the external matrix? First of all, the internal matrix is your own personal experience. The external matrix could be going along as usual, and the external matrix can be validated by everyone outside of you, while your internal matrix is radically different, and the outside or external matrix doesn't confirm or address what's happening within your internal matrix. For example, everybody else's life could go along as it's been going on. Perfect, no glitches, program running as it's supposed to run. But in your own personal life, you're having some radical experiences. Shit is falling apart. Thread is coming loose. And when you go to people in the external matrix, they have no idea what you're talking about. They're not having these experiences. They're not having these deep synchronistic experiences. They're not having these paranormal experiences. Everything's normal. So they question, well, what's wrong with you? Because everything in the external matrix, like I said, is going on as it should, as it's supposed to, as it's been. But your life is taking you down some deep rabbit holes of stuff that you're awakening to, the type of dreams that you're having, the type of people that you're attracting into your space and into your life, and the conversations that they're having. Your internal matrix is falling apart, and how your life should keep the matrix intact for you. It's not working. The matrix is not being held up for you. Everybody is still getting up at 9 in the morning and going to bed by 7 or 8 so they can get up at 5. Everything is going on in the external matrix as it has been going on, but your life is different. Things are showing up. You're starting to see things in your own experience that are already beyond the matrix, or stuff that leaves big holes in the matrix, where if you contemplate on these deep holes for too long, you'll slip into them. Your internal matrix have wormholes that lead you into different dimensions of reality. So your personal matrix, internal matrix, can collapse any day. And then you will be ostracized from the people in the external matrix. You'll be like Roddy Piper on They Live, if y'all saw that movie. You will be the only one woke up while things are going on as normal. That means your internal matrix collapse. Now, your internal matrix can collapse in many different ways. You can have some challenges in your life or some radical shifts. Sometimes tragedy can cause an internal loss and internal matrix collapse. Things not making sense, new meanings, new significances. Sometimes people can just go through all type of trauma that cause their internal matrix to collapse. How you felt like it was supposed to go, or what it was limited to, or what it was supposed to be, is not showing up in your personal life, and you're seeing something radically different that makes you have to open your mind and contemplate something else, or go into total collapsation yourself. And a lot of people who talk about the destruction of the matrix don't talk about this. They don't talk about your internal matrix collapsing. They won't go in on that. Very important. Because that has happened for a lot of people. While you waiting on nuclear bombs to drop, while you're waiting on mayhem in the streets, insurrection, your internal matrix can collapse any day. That means the lie that has been told to you, you can't believe it anymore because of the experiences that you have had. That the artificial world loses meaning in your own personal life, where you can't keep it going. You can't keep up the lie anymore. That's when your internal matrix is collapsing. And when that happens, you question who you are, where you come from, what is your connection to all this, and what really is your life purpose. Because before you woke up, your life purpose was just to go to work every day, just to achieve these particular goals. Your purpose was to function within the system. Your system was to plug in every day and make sure that you're plugged in very well. Plug in through your job, the club, your social media accounts, clubs, all that. Institutions, lodges, fraternities, churches, to make sure that you stay plugged in. But when your internal matrix collapses, you are automatically unplugged. Before the whole mainframe of the supercomputer artificial reality generator, before that shit break down, you can be unplugged at any moment. Any of you. And you'll find yourself standing in a very lonely place by yourself, where when you tell people about your experiences and the glitches in the matrix that you're experiencing, they will tell you that you are crazy, you are out of your mind, you need to seek help, you need some type of medication, you need to go to church, you need to plug in harder, you need to go out and get you a thicker cord with some stronger prongs on it. That if you was plugged in at 50 watts, now they want you to plug in at 180 watts. They'll tell you this. You need to plug in harder. That's your problem. But they'll put you to the side. And they don't even have the time and energy to hear how your experiences have shifted or are different. Because they are caught up in the matrix, and that's all they know, and that's all they're going to focus on, and that's the totality of their reality. Not only is it the totality of their reality, it's the totality of what reality is to them. When your internal matrix collapses, your whole perspective of what reality is begins to shift and open up. And you have an involuntary expansion of consciousness. A lot of people want to go and intentionally become enlightened. Seek out this guru, seek out this master teacher. But you also can have an involuntary expansion of consciousness, which some people call a consciousness explosion. Where now you're forced to become enlightened in order to save your true self outside of the matrix. Well, enlightened, you have no other option than to become enlightened. It's not a choice. It's not a vacation. It's not a spiritual retreat. It is the only way for you at that point. Your internal matrix is your own pattern of ideas and thoughts that keep the illusion or the ego of you going, and the part of you that feel connected to the world and everything else that is going on. Realize that that could collapse at any moment. That could be exposed at any moment. And that's why you need black supremacy, enlightenment, to prepare you for internal and external matrix collapse. This is part 2. I'm going to come back with a part 3. Join my website, www.kingnoble.com. uncensored.com. Donate, don't hate.